Time is the most valuable resource on earth. It cannot be replenished. You cannot get it back once time is gone. We only have 24 hours in a day. We've all heard the saying that if I only had 48 hours in a day, then I could do a lot more. The truth is, if you do not effectively know how to manage the 24 hours we've been blessed by God with, we'll go through 48 hours and still complain on the need for more hours. Those who have mastered the art of time management are those who have learned to truly maximize the time that has been given to them. By maximizing time on a daily basis, the rewards are seen over a long period of time. One is therefore surprised to see the gains and momentums. Unknown to them, the small gains each day add up over time. Now we all ask ourselves the questions, how do the wealthy or even those who are successful do it? They also have the same 24 hours. If so, what are they doing that I'm not doing? My name is Arthur Oreke, and I'm a technologist, and I have over 15 years of consulting experience. I've worked on projects as an individual contributor. I've also worked in team environments as a member of the team, and I've also played the role of team lead. I've worked on many projects for Fortune 500 companies. Now, one feedback or remark I've heard a lot from my fellow colleagues, team members, and even project managers is, how on earth is it that all your projects are completed on time and within budget, and yet the customer is impressed? Well, I'm about to share a little secret with y'all, and I'm about to embark on a time management series geared to help you become a super consultant so that you'll be the envy of your colleagues and make you relevant to your clients and for all your projects. Now, this is going to be the first of our time management series. Today I'm going to be discussing how to develop a sense of urgency. Remember, when time is lost, it can never be regained. Have you ever sat down to binge watch one of your favorite TV series? You really can't help it because the end of one episode leaves you with a cliffhanger that you just can't help clicking on the next episode. And then another, and then another. And before you know it, you realize that you had spent the entire day watching the TV show and lost track of time. This world is designed to keep us on our toes. Be it the littlest things like tests or examinations are timed. Products and service warranties have expire by dates. Bills have due dates. Projects have deadlines. Taxes have deadlines as well, and more. All these that I mentioned just now have time components factored in, designed to tell us that we need to act within the time provided, otherwise there might be penalties or consequences associated. For instance, failing an exam by not completing a good portion of the test within the time allotted. Food waste or service lapse when products or warranties expiration dates expire. Late fees get incurred when bills are not paid. Project timelines get delayed or dragged out. Tax penalties get issued, and more. These are we basically have 24 hours in a day, and with all these demands gnawing at us and demanding attention, it's quite easy to let things slip through the cracks. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines urgency as the quality or state of being urgent. The word urgent means calling for immediate attention. Now, I'm not advocating that you have to act on every single thing that's labeled urgent. I'll talk a little bit more about this in one of the other series that I'll be releasing shortly. But the key here is we have to be able to develop a sense of urgency. Now, developing a sense of urgency does not mean you go around resolving all items that you think are urgent, but rather it's developing a lifestyle that keeps you accountable for each hour that goes by. One must be able to master the art of balancing and identifying the need to act with swiftness and haste to ensure that the 24 hours are not wasted. When one has not developed the sense of urgency, it is easy to go through a day and not be able to give a true account of what each hour was spent on. You see, an hour on social media here, an hour talking with friends or shopping, and before you know it, poof, the day's gone. If time was associated a monetary value, I bet you everyone would go about managing their time a lot better. But then time isn't associated a physical monetary value except the value that we give it. The one who puts a premium on his time will go about managing time in a manner befitting the premium value assigned. The one who has a heightened sense of urgency understands that time is precious and therefore is aware of each passing hour and weighs it against what needs to be done before the day's over. I've put together some tricks, actually, to help those of us who have not developed a sense of urgency to begin working to develop one. First of all, let's start by being aware of the time. In today's world, we're blessed to have wristwatches, smartphones, all designed to tell us the time. We even have sophisticated devices such as Alexa or Siri that could inform us of the time. Yet some of us do not use these tools to our advantage. In ancient times, people did not have access to such devices. Rather, people relied on the hourly chimes of the turret clock. For those of you who do not know, a turret clock is a public clock. Typically, you've seen them in like the church towers or city halls. It's basically a clock that's larger than your regular clock, but it has a mechanism that is designed to drive the visual time indicators, such as the dials, and then it also has like bells that chime on an hourly basis. These public towers or clocks were usually a landmark that marked as a reference point for the rural or urban skyline. Now, every time the bell chimed, the folks from that time period would know the time and know that an hour had gone by. So that's why I'm saying the first thing we need to do is, if you're going to develop a sense of urgency, you need to be aware of each passing hour. At age 17, my dad gave me a wonderful G-Shock wristwatch for my birthday. It was worth a fortune, and I really loved that G-Shock watch. With the G-Shock, I remember setting the time for it to chime with each passing hour. It soon became a habit that I could simply tell the time by just listening to the chime, and I already knew how many hours had gone by during the day. They say a habit is formed after 21 days, and if you start being aware of the time, you too will become aware of it. Now, the other question that we need to ask ourselves is, how can you monitor and monetize your time if you're not even aware of it? So you got to start first by identifying your time, and that way you could actually put a value to your time. The other trick I want to tell you all about is start each day with a to-do list. There are lots of tricks on how to optimize and how to tackle items you put on your to-do list. I plan on sharing these on in a later part of this time management series shortly. But the key here is right now, stop what you're doing and write down your to-do list. Begin your day with a to-do list. Some people typically use like a daily planner or a piece of paper, or even use a software app like Evernote or OneNote, and there are lots of to-do list apps out there on all the app stores. I personally like to use a daily planner in combination with OneNote. But the key here is, the goal and the key here is to write down the tasks that you need to accomplish for the day. The next trick that I want you to know is keep track. Now that you have your to-do list, and you've also programmed your smartwatch or your watch to chime every hour, the next time your phone or watch chimes, I want you to stop what you're doing and check your to-do list to see how far you're tracking or trending. Check to see how many tasks you've accomplished so far. Check to see if there are any tasks that you could accomplish within the current hour, and then set out to work on these. The goal is that at the end of the day, with this method, you would have insight into the total number of tasks accomplished versus the total number of tasks that have not been completed. Rinse and repeat. The truth is, you just have to keep repeating this over and over again. You might not accomplish all your tasks in one day, but chances are you would have come close to completing all the tasks you put on your to-do list while holding yourself accountable. Now, bear in mind, the items you didn't get through during the course of the day now goes on top of the list for the next day. Continue this trend for the next 21 days as a new habit is being formed. And guess what? Congratulations, you're on your way to developing a heightened sense of urgency. If you like our video, click on the bell icon right below, so that way you could always stay informed when we upload a brand new video. Also, don't forget to like our video. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.